So today I'm going to do something that I've never done before. I am going to do my first deck walkthrough. So I got a Kickstarter in that I had backed a while ago. I don't remember when it was, but it was the mini version of the Everybody's Tarot. So as you can see, I have the second edition, which is bigger, but I wanted to check out the mini version, and that just came today. So I'm very excited. So I love mini decks. I have small hands, and a lot of time decks are too big for my hands, and so I always jump on the opportunity to get a mini deck. And if you know this deck, I think you might agree that this deck I think would be great as a mini deck because the art is pretty simple. But first I'm going to open it up and you can take a look. It's so little. So this is so it's the first edition of the mini. And so this is a 72 card deck, but she does have some extra oracle cards that she added. And along with it, with my Kickstarter, I got a little crystal as well. A little moon crystal. So you can see that. It's very beautiful. Yeah. So for the Everybody Tarot, part of the reason why I got it is I absolutely love this creator's Creatures Tarot and Oracle. If you've seen that, it's like the little black creatures that are very cute. And so I kind of did one of those things where it's like a gotta catch 'em all thing. And so even though this Everybody's Tarot deck is not my usual aesthetic, it's the colors are very bright and stark, which is not always my thing. I got it because I was like, well, I have to get it. But I don't find myself using the deck very often. And so one of the things that I want to do is compare the mini and so you can see it's so cute. One of the things that I want to do is compare the mini and the larger one, because it might be that I end up keeping the mini and passing the larger one on, just because I don't use it very often. But look how cute that is. It is very cute as a small teeny tiny deck. So I'm just going to do kind of a quick comparison because I have the other deck here with me. So I put this one back in order. So there we go. Yeah, and so just as a comparison, this I think is kind of a standard tarot size. And so you can see that the mini is pretty small, which is very cute. Oh, and perfect example, the creatures decks have a lot of creatures that look like these creatures, in case you didn't know. But yeah, so the mini is tiny and cute. And so one of the things I want to look at is, like I said, if I would like to keep the little one and maybe pass along the big one. And so I already, even though I'm not really looking, I haven't looked at this a ton, I'm already feeling like I like this deck as a mini. The art is pretty simple. And I think it really works well as a mini deck. Because like some of these cards, they just feel a little, I don't know, empty. I don't know if that's the right word. But the pictures are just pretty simple. And so on this larger card, it looks very, I don't want to say basic, but it just, you know, I think it is really nice for a smaller version. I love this Hierophant. I think it's the witchy hat. But just in general, I love this, that card. The Lovers, the Chariot, and these almost look like children's drawings, but they're, I think part of the creator's hope is that this could be usable by anyone, which is, I think, fits well for this type of art. So little. And we have the Sloth for the Hangman. Death. Temperance. The Devil. Tower, or the Star now. The Moon. This deck does kind of make you smile, though. It just feels so light. Oops. Judgment. Oh. I accidentally pulled out my world, so there we go. And then Wands. I love the blue. It's kind of almost like a cerulean blue in some of these cards. And the little party for the Four of Wands. Four of Wands is one of my favorite cards. Oh. And look at the angry faces with the eyebrows. Not everyone is enjoying the competition, I don't think. Six of Wands. Seven of Wands. And so then the courts have like sort of the same little creatures in each of them, but different colors. So like all the queens are unicorns, and all of the kings are kind of these dragony creatures. So now we're into the cups. And so one of the things about this deck is, even though the art is pretty simple, not saying it isn't amazing art, but even though it's pretty simple, you still get a lot of the feelings from it. I mean, look at that card. You can really tell, even though that monster doesn't have a nose and it doesn't have a mouth, you can tell it's thinking, and that it's thinking really hard. And so that is one of the things I like about this deck, is you do get the feeling. So the Nine of Cups, having all your cups. And of course the rainbow. And then again, yeah, you have those circular little monsters for the pages, antlered monsters for the cups, and then the unicorns again. I'm not really a unicorn person, but I think in this deck I like it, and especially I'm loving the little one. And I think I will use the little one more. There we go. It just feels like it was meant to be a little deck. to see what the Queen of Swords look like, because that's one of my favorite cards. Yeah, so I think I definitely love this deck as a little mini. The other thing about this deck is that the first edition of this deck had some oracle cards in it. And the second edition, which is this larger one that I have, had a couple of oracle cards in it. I can just show those quick. It had peace, and then it had magic. I like that magic card. But the first edition of the Everybody's Tarot had a bunch of oracle cards in it. And one of the things that the creator felt very strongly about was that with this first edition of a mini, she wanted to include those oracle cards again. So I have never actually seen all of these little cards. Ooh, the Phoenix. That's beautiful. So I've never actually seen all of them. So I wanted to take a look at that. Saying no. That's a good card. I don't think enough people think about no can be a complete sentence. The Crow. Oops. Study. Oh, that's a beautiful card. Rose Quartz. I would be curious to look that one up in the guidebook. For this mini version, she provided a card that has a digital guidebook in it. So I'm not going to look at that now, but I'm going to set this one aside because I want to look at it later. Napping. The leaf. The old tree. Ooh, that's an interesting one too. Space. Compassion. I really love these oracle cards. They have a lot of feeling in them. Forgiveness. And I will probably just mix them in. Oh, okay. And so then we did have magic and peace as well in the second edition. So it did have a couple of oracle cards with it. There we go. So the other thing I want to see is I do like using this tarot with Everybody's Oracle. So I'm just going to shuffle this quickly. You'll have to forgive me if I'm bad at shuffling a mini. We'll have to see how it does. Oh, that has a pretty nice little... I'm not the best shuffler, but that's pretty good for a little one. Yeah. Of course I can't shuffle on camera, but so the other thing I want to see is how the mini looks next to the Everybody Oracle deck, because I do use this one with the Oracle. I can just show you that quick. That's the Everybody's Oracle. And so I want to see how they look together, because I'm kind of trying to decide, like I said, if I'm going to keep the bigger version or not. But it kind of depends on how the mini looks with the Oracle. Okay, so that's pretty small. Acceptance. It's pretty small, but it's not bad. And I do think that this mini is just so cute. And I think I would use it more as a mini. Okay, so the size is not bad. The other thing I want to try is, what if we put, okay, so that's kind of nice to have more little cards around it. Yeah, I think these can work together. I like it with more tarot cards around it. Like when it was just 2 little cards and 1 big card in the middle, I didn't like it as much. But I also often pull a lot more tarot cards around a single oracle. And so I don't think that this is bad. So yeah, well, thank you for exploring this with me. I think after looking at this, I'm really excited to get the Everybody's tarot deck. The mini version is the new one that I just got. And I'm kind of feeling like I might keep the mini and pass on the bigger one, but I haven't decided that yet completely. So I'm going to set the bigger one aside for a while and see how it goes, because I don't like to get rid of decks right away. But I'd love the little mini deck. So yeah, thank you for exploring this with me. I hope it was helpful to you as well.